Hello, Roman Onigan with you. In the previous lessons, we have already considered several corrective wave patterns, namely flat, zigzag, and double zigzag. In this lesson, we will understand what a triple zigzag is and write down the rules for it. Okay, let's get started. As the name implies, a triple zigzag consists of 3 zigzags. Let's draw them. First, the first zigzag, then the second, and then the third. These 3 zigzags are joined together by corrective intervening waves as shown here. The first zigzag is denoted by the letter W. Then there is a corrective intervening wave which is denoted by the letter X. Then there is a second zigzag. It is denoted by the letter Y. Then the corrective intervening wave X is formed again. Or sometimes it is denoted by the letters XX to separate it from the first corrective wave. I think this marking is more convenient in practice, so we will use it. The last zigzag is denoted by the letter Z. We remember that the component parts of a simple single zigzag are denoted by the letters A, B, and C, so we denote the internal structure of all 3 zigzags with these letters. Now we can start writing down the rules. The first rule, as you can see, a triple zigzag consists of 5 subwaves, W, X, Y, XX, and Z. As for the internal structure of these waves, they all develop in a corrective mode, so we can denote these waves with the letter C. Respectively, the wave formula will look like this, and it should be remembered that the waves W, Y, and Z as a rule take the form of simple zigzags, as we have shown in this figure. However, sometimes these waves themselves take the form of double or triple zigzags. It happens not so often, but it should be remembered that it is possible. To illustrate the following rules, let's start drawing the triple zigzag patterns again. Third rule, the corrective intervening wave X is always less than the wave W. Fourth rule, wave Y in its construction always goes above the end of the wave W. In other words, the wavelength Y is always greater than the wavelength X. Fifth rule, the second corrective intervening wave XX is always smaller than the wave Y. In other words, the wave XX in its development will never go below this level. Sixth rule, Z is usually larger than the XX wave. The phrase usually means that in some cases the wave Z does not reach the end of wave Y. In this case, it is called truncated. Now let's see how these rules are executed in a descending triple zigzag. First, a descending triple zigzag also consists of 5 subwaves and is denoted by the letters W, X, Y, XX, Z. The internal structure of the descending triple zigzag is the same. In example, all waves develop in the corrective mode, and W, Y, and Z most often take the form of simple single zigzags. However, sometimes these waves themselves can take the form of double or triple zigzags. Further, at its construction, wave X of the triple zigzag never goes beyond the beginning of wave W. Wave Y is always greater than wave X. The second corrective intervening wave, XX, is always less than wave Y. Wave Z is usually larger than wave XX. Sometimes it is truncated and does not reach the line drawn through the top of wave Y. We saw how all the above rules are implemented for the descending pattern. Now let's look at the guidelines for triple zigzags. First guideline, like an ordinary single zigzag or like a double zigzag, a triple zigzag is a deep correction to the previous trend. For example, an uptrend formed in the market. It took the form of impulse. We show the level that divides this trend in half and separates the zone of shallow corrections from the zone of deep corrections. After the end of the upward trend, the development of correction begins, within which the first downward zigzag was built. We see that this zigzag is too small in size after such a large upward wave. In any case, there should be a deeper correction. Therefore, since the first zigzag did not cope with the task of building a deep correction, a correction wave is formed, and then we see the development of the second descending zigzag. But this time the correction was too small and did not even reach the level of 50% of the previous wave. In this situation, the third zigzag is formed, and it makes the correction deep enough. The task to form a deep pullback to the previous trend has been completed, and the correction itself took the form of a triple zigzag, W, X, Y, XX, Z. That is, a triple zigzag is formed when simple single and double zigzags have not coped with the task of forming a correction of sufficient depth. In this case, a triple zigzag is formed. The same can be illustrated by the example of an ascending correction. We see that after the downtrend, the market began to adjust upwards in the form of a zigzag, but the first zigzag turned out to be too small in size, so the second zigzag was built, but it was not deep enough. The third zigzag helped to deepen to the necessary level of correction, and the whole correction took the form of a triple zigzag, W, X, Y, XX, Z. Second guideline. A triple zigzag, like a double zigzag, usually fits well into the linear regression channel I first mentioned in the previous lesson. Using the linear regression channel, it is usually possible to accurately predict the framework in which the final part of the pattern will develop. Let's illustrate this with the following example. Let's say waves W, X, and Y were built, but the correction to the previous trend turned out to be quite shallow in size. From this we can conclude that the market will form a triple zigzag, i.e., the waves XX and Z will be completed. To determine how the price can move in these waves, we will display the linear regression channel on the W, X, and Y waves and extend it. We have a channel in which the waves XX and Z will be formed, so we can schematically display them. This property of the triple zigzag is very convenient to use in trading. And sometimes you can do the opposite. If it is not clear what pattern is formed, but we see that it fits well into the linear regression channel, we can assume that the market produces the construction of a double or triple zigzag, and already from it, the corresponding conclusions are drawn. Now we have learned all the possible combinations of zigzags that occur in the market, namely single, double, and triple zigzags. In the following video, we will learn about the triple threes. This video course is perhaps the easiest way to master the theory of wave analysis. If you want to learn the practical part, I'm waiting for you for personal training. Thank you for all your attention. Once again, this has been Roman Onigan with you. So until we meet again, bye for now.